Massive malware and phishing campaigns are currently operating directly from the high-trust domains of global corporations and government agencies. These incidents involve no stolen administrator credentials, no zero-day software vulnerabilities, and no breaches of the network perimeter. The web request for a trusted URL hits a legitimate DNS server, but the system routes the actual payload from an unauthorized third-party cloud tenant. This specific architectural anomaly is known as a subdomain takeover, caused by a dangling DNS record. Attackers can bypass standard security and advertising filters because the pristine reputation of the root domain completely masks the malicious destination. Subdomain takeover is a failure of the deprovisioning process within the DevSecOps lifecycle. The root cause is the dangling DNS record. This state occurs when a cloud compute or storage resource is deleted, but the DNS pointer is left active in the zone file. Because the DNS entry itself is valid, standard vulnerability scanners and network monitoring tools overlook the structural flaw. Securing modern cloud infrastructure requires a shift toward continuous, live asset inventory mapping that prioritizes verified ownership over simple connectivity. In modern cloud environments, DNS routing translates human-readable URLs into machine-generated endpoints. For example, a DNS resolver creates a CNAME record that points a friendly subdomain to a specific storage bucket endpoint. Legacy cloud storage and platform-as-a-service environments operate using a globally shared namespace. When a marketing campaign or a development project ends, the standard cost-saving action is to delete the underlying storage resource. If the CNAME remains in the DNS zone file, it points into a void, creating a dangling record. This broken link produces an orphan fingerprint, typically a specific HTTP error that is visible to the public. Once a globally unique cloud name is abandoned, it returns to the public registration pool, even while the enterprise DNS still cryptographically trusts the identifier. To exploit this, threat actors deploy automated systems to continuously scan the internet for these specific orphan fingerprints, looking for abandoned targets. The attacker simply provisions a new cloud resource from their own account, requesting the exact global name that was previously abandoned. Because the existing corporate CNAME is still active, the connection immediately snaps to the attacker's newly created bucket. Legitimate user traffic is now seamlessly routed to infrastructure fully controlled by the adversary. The corporate DNS acts as a cryptographic voucher, validating the attacker's infrastructure to every user who visits the site. There is a common assumption that a successful DNS resolution check proves the integrity of the infrastructure. A standard vulnerability scanner typically measures one thing: whether the destination is responding. A green HTTP 200 status only confirms that a connection was made. If an attacker has already claimed the resource, the resolution check will succeed because the attacker's server is the one responding. Because the page loads, the scanner reports a false negative, hiding the breach from the security team. This requires an architectural shift toward direct asset inventory mapping. Advanced configuration monitors operate by querying the CNAME target and cross-referencing it with internal account data. The tool verifies if the resolved endpoint actually exists within the active resource inventory of the local account. When the endpoint is identified as belonging to a foreign, unowned account, the system flags a critical anomaly. Effective auditing is about cryptographically proving who owns the destination endpoint, not just verifying that a connection exists. Effective mitigation relies entirely on strictly standardizing the deprovisioning order of operations. First, delete the DNS record while the cloud resource remains active. DNS time to live creates global propagation delays. Teams must wait for this cache to expire completely. Deleting resources early allows attackers to hijack the namespace using cached routing. Finally, safely delete the cloud asset. Strict procedural discipline closes an exploitation window that automated tools cannot patch on their own. To combat this, major cloud providers are now introducing structural fixes to eliminate the root cause of shared global namespaces. One such fix is the implementation of account regional namespaces. This ties the resource identifier permanently to the creator's specific account, preventing global namespace claiming. However, legacy environments and existing storage buckets remain exposed to these takeover tactics. Ultimately, a brand's domain reputation is a highly valuable currency that adversaries are constantly looking to steal and spend. Without strict, inventory-backed DNS lifecycle management, organizations inadvertently write blank checks of their own trust to adversaries.